And now joining us, guys, KHOU 11 baseball analyst Jeremy Booth. Good to see you, Jeremy.
Great to be here,
Welcome
Jay.
back.
Yes. All right, so now 10 days into this regular season, we are running down what has gone right for the Astros and what has gone wrong for this club. Jeremy, what are you starting with?
I'm starting with Yordan Alvarez. I mean, everything about him is right. The swing, the approach, staying on the field. You can't get much better than him. He's one of the best hitters in baseball.
I like that. What's gone right is the last couple of days, Chazzy Fizz leading off. I like that. I don't know where it was earlier, but I'm going to stick with that. Chas McCormick, World Series hero last year for some reason, didn't start the season.
Unbelievable.
In the starting lineup. I still
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm going to say what's gone wrong is Alex Bregman, but think about Alex Bregman. We've seen him in the past. Doesn't always start off on a hot streak. So Alex Bregman, unfortunately, because there's not a lot of depth right now, his struggles have really been magnified, I would say.
Yeah, what's gone wrong is the lack of depth. And I feel like we have discussed that multiple times on this show. They did not pay attention to that in the offseason, and it's hurting him now. After 5 in the lineup, it's really hit or miss the whole season long. But what's gone right is Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker's he's locked in, and he's a guy that the Astros might want to sign. They're probably not going to. He's probably going to be gone, but he's doing good now.
He is. Jeremy, we talk about this a lot on our podcast, about the drafting. Are we really now seeing, because of the way they've drafted and not so successfully in that first round, now we're really starting to see it because there's not a lot of depth and there's not a lot to trade, pieces to trade with.
You know what, Jason, if you're going to talk about the draft and the Houston Astros, unless Dana Brown is taking full control of that draft, it goes in the last thing we just talked about and what's gone wrong, because it's going to go wrong again. They have not done a good job up top. They have not done a good job with depth. Now, granted, Chas McCormick is a heck of a pick. He's a heck of a pick. They've done some good things in the third round. Jeremy Pena, great pick in the third round. But you are now at a very thin situation where players you took for a deal, for less money, or didn't understand the makeup because maybe you fired your scouting staff like a Forrest Whitley, right? And have the guys to get in and understand. You're seeing that. There's no trade partners. There's nothing at the big league level for you to move on. You missed free agent season, right? You didn't sign anybody besides really.
Well, you didn't have a GM though, Jeremy.
Yeah, I'm not.
That's what Dusty Baker told me. We didn't have a GM at the time.
And I as much as I applaud Dusty Baker for being master of the obvious on that one, Dusty was involved in every decision that went down when it came to the roster selection. This was his team the last couple of years. He just won a World Series. Jim Crane was very vocal about leaning on Bagwell and Biggio and the group he had, even so far as Jeff Bagwell saying, hey, you know what? We're running really well right now. We're doing a great job. Okay, great. If that's what you think, there's no depth, as Daniel pointed out, and that shows up when you can't go to the system and get more out of the draft. So what you've seen is year in and year out, the missing on this pick, missing on that pick, missing on the next pick has now added up where everybody contributes at the big league level, at least as an impact standpoint, and there's nothing left to go get.
Well, the problem is now fans are saying Jose Altuve, when he comes back, will be right on track. And they may not be right on track. Let's face it, Jose Altuve covers up a lot of things that are wrong with that lineup. When he is on, Altuve is amazing, but his thumb is not healing in a hurry, even though, why is it every superstar that hurts, they say, well, he's a fast healer? I don't know, but, getting him back is going to help a lot, but that's not going to cure all your ills.
And the Astros do have the luxury that their bullpen is still pretty good. I mean, Brian Abreu this year has been lights out. He's been excellent. I know there have been a rough patch. Stanek has been hit a couple of times, but that bullpen gives them the luxury to have a lineup that doesn't produce all the time. Now, they do need a little bit more length from the starters. We saw that the second go-around. The first time around, the first 3 starters went 5 innings. And that's not you're gonna overtax your bullpen at that point. So that's nice for the Astros, but that lineup is a concern.
All right, so speaking of concerns and what went right and what went wrong and what to look forward to coming up, it's our Fearless Predictions ahead on Sports Extra. And time for our annual tradition, Fearless Predictions for the Astros. This time we're doing over-unders, and based on the numbers from betonline.ag, Jeremy, Daniel, and Matt, I think you guys are ready to go, right?
Yes.
All right, so let's
Always.
start. First one, total number of home runs this season, Yordan Alvarez, 36.5 Are we going over or under? Last year had 37, by the way.
Well, you're going to have to go over or under because nobody hits a half home run.
That's
right?
true.
So you have to go above that. So I'm going to
Jeremy.
go over, and I'll even give you a number. I'll say 41.
Okay. I'm going to go over as well because he had 37 last year. Daniel? Matt?
He better go over. At this point, he better go over, especially in the early part of the season. He's going to be the one driving in a lot of the runs with that home run ball. So I'm going to go over. I'm going to go 44 home runs this year for Alvarez.
Matt?
Yes.
I'm going to go over. I was going to go 45. I'm going to stay with 45. Dusty Baker compared him to the great Dick Allen, and he's the guy that can roll out of bed in the morning and hit home runs and hit over 300. So, yes.
All right. Next one is going to be pitching. Now, Christian Javier was 11 wins. I think we'd all go over for Christian Javier. And as Daniel said, better go over.
Yes.
There was no line for number of innings thrown by Lance McCullers. So we're going to do this one. Luis Garcia, total victories in 2023. 12 is the number. Are we going over or under? Last year he had 15.
Well, pitcher wins are just a different statistic this era of baseball. But that said, very much important to keep your team in the game and get some longevity. I'm going to say over.
Over? I'm going to go under, actually. For the Astros' sake, I hope it's over. But this year, I think he'll settle around 11.
I think he's going to go under. I actually have not liked what I've seen so far. I don't know if it's because of the wind-up change, the pitch clock. I don't know if that's messing with them. But I think he's going to have a step back in his career, so I'm going to go under.
His ERA is 7.0, right? Is that what you don't like?
That's not great. No, that's not
That's a
great.
radio
I think
station,
he gets
not
it straightened out.
not an
I
ERA.
think he goes over just barely. He gets to 13 wins. I'm going over.
All right, so the next one is a good one. We're back to home runs. Jose Abreu, 20.5, hit 15 a year ago. I'm going to start off by saying over. I think he goes 25, 26. Jeremy?
Yeah, he reminds me of a better version of Carlos Lee when he was an Astro at that same time in his career.
Wow.
I think he's going to go over. I think he's going to hit 25, 26. I'm with you.
All right.
Oh no, I did not see that. I did not see that coming. I think Abreu is a magician with the bat. He hit safely in the first 9 games. He's really good at putting the ball in play. But I think at this point in his career, he's not the power guy anymore. Back when he was with the Sox, he was. I think I'm going to go under, actually, with that number.
Even when the Crawford boxes,
he's going to hit the over on his RBIs. He's going to drive in runs, but not the home run total.
right.
I agree with that. I agree on the Carlos Lee observation. I had no idea. That was, well, there's nothing that reminds me of Carlos Lee with him.
Yeah.
But I'm going under on that because the same way, I don't think he has the power that he once had.
Okay.
I love the guy. I love what I've seen. Maybe except for some defensive plays.
All right, Jeremy, do you feel okay about what you just said?
Yeah, no, I think that it's in similar points in their career, the production will be the same. Not the same player, production is going to be close to the same.
All right, production, let's go runs driven in. Alex Bregman, 89.5. Let's have you start, Matt.
I'm going to go over because I think the guy's going to catch fire. I don't know what's going on with Alex. He can't say it was a hand injury, that type of thing. There was an injury. There was the finger during the World Series, but I think he goes over, and they're going to need him to hit over 93 like he did last year to this offense to fire up.
I'm going to go under, given the fact that Altuve's not going to be here for 2 months and the lack of productivity in the bottom half of this order when it turns around.
Yep.
I don't think there are going to be a lot of guys on base for Alex to be driving in. That's not really Alex's fault. If he's going to stay in the 2 spot, I'm going to go with under 89.5.
I'm with you, Daniel. I'm at under as well, mainly because of the reasons you just mentioned. But when I say under, I mean 88 to 87,
That's
86.
a great year.
That's still
that's
a very
great
good year. Jeremy?
I'm going to go over, and 2 reasons. Alex, opening night looked to be very comfortable in what his season was going to be, and the confidence was there, the health was there. Additionally, reason number 2, he's got a new shoe he's wearing. I saw some New Balance on his feet, and I think that's going to get him 95.
Shameless
96.
plug here,
So, I'm going to believe in Alex, and he's in a pretty good year.
All righty. Up next, going back to home runs, Kyle Tucker, 30.5. Mind you, Kyle Tucker has hit 30 home runs in each of the past 2 seasons on the nose. Daniel, why don't you start us off?
Over. Yeah, over for sure. I mean, he's had a great start to the year. I think his bat speed is incredible, especially everything inside. They're trying to jam him up inside. He he knocks it out of the park. So I'm going to go over.
And ejections from the game, I would say. Oh, no, we're talking home runs. That was strange today.
He was pretty fired up today.
Over home runs, I'm going to go over that for sure. He's got the stroke going. I like the fact when he sets up, he gets the dirt on it, and he gets the tip, and he gets it under 10 seconds. It's helped him, I think.
I'm going to say over as well. I think he's a 35 guy this year. 35 and maybe 30 steals, especially with the new rules.
Yeah.
Jeremy, you have the last word on Kyle Tucker.
I think he's on a mission to prove something to this organization, and he's really remade himself. So I'm going to make it a consensus, like wearing a blue suit, and he's going to be. I'm going to go over.
All right, we have one more to go here, and this is pitching. Framber Valdez, career best, 17 wins in 2022. I was a bit surprised to see this. Their number was 14, so over, under. Jeremy, let's start with you.
I would just circle over. I don't know why that number is even popping up at 14. I mean, he's an ace, and he's one of the best pitchers in the game. 14 is not going to get it done. He's going to go beyond that.
I got to go over as well, and in fact, he better go over when you're replacing Justin Verlander as the horse of this rotation. He better go over, and if he's not, then the Astros are in big, big trouble.
He should have had 2 wins already, to be honest with you. I mean, he went 7 innings the last outing. He's the guy that can give you length because of the way he pitches. Yeah, that's a low number. I got to go over, too. I mean, I'm putting him at least 17, 18 wins. Like you said, Jason, he has to get to that mark for this team.
And even though he didn't win, his ERA is like 1.3.
No, I know.
I mean, the guy is the ace, as Jeremy says. If he had the offense that some of these teams have had in the past, I'd say a 20-game winner. Maybe he won't get to 20, but he's definitely over if this team succeeds.
All right, so those are our fearless predictions. Over, under, guys, quickly. Number of wins in 2023. What are you forecasting, Jeremy?
92.
92.
Before the season, the over-under was 97.5, I believe. I would have gone over that, but then Altuve's thumb happened. I'm going to go a shade under that at 94.
I will go with Matt. I was going to say 94, so I'm going to stick with 94. But to be different, I can go 93. So I know 93. Right around there, though.
I'm going to say 91. I'm going to say 91 wins, and I think that will be enough to win the American League West. Jeremy Booth, as always, thanks for hanging out with us tonight on Sports Extra.
Great to be back, guys.